one of the biggest financial losses probably in history has just occurred online, and it is probably the weirdest situation ever. FTX, a giant cryptocurrency firm, has filed for bankruptcy in the United States of America. If you don't really know much about cryptocurrency, basically this is basically a trading platform for those who want to buy into crypto and stuff like that. But the problem is with FTX is you don't really buy the crypto, you're basically borrowing the crypto from them, right? So like it's like an IOU. Okay, that's what you set up with them. You basically set up an IOU. Now this works as long as everyone using the platform don't ask for their money, their actual liquidity, at the same time. It works until that happens. And that's what happened. The reason it bankrupted is because there's literal billions of dollars missing from this company's logs. There's just money disappeared, and the rumors surrounding it are really odd, and we'll get into them, so stay tuned. So let's start off who the CEO is and the guy who's most likely been moving around billions of dollars. Sam Bankman-Fried, or Fried, I guess it's Fried, but Sam Bankman-Fried sounds quite funny. He's he's a 30-year-old vegan who says he sleeps 4 hours a night. The red flags are... He says he drives a Toyota Corolla, and he shuns designer clothes and wears sneakers and scruffy loungewear. Now, I'm not going to hate on any of that. Your choice. You do what you want to do. He calls himself an effective altruist, and he wanted to give most of his money away to good causes. The reason why I mentioned this situation is because FTX was a huge investor in a giant esports organization called TSM. Now, TSM has really been struggling lately. There's a lot of things going on with that company. Parted ways to loads of different variations. They've been parting ways with loads of different organizations and companies, which is really sad to see. And it looks like now that because bear in mind, last year they invested $210 million just to get FTX, but at the end of TSM, so it was TSM FTX. But now that FTX is filed for bankruptcy, it looks like TSM is probably on their way out as well, which is a real shame because TSM has been like a staple in esports. And that kind of pulled on my heartstrings a little bit because TSM is a really they've brought up some fantastic content creators as well. They have really I don't know, they've done a lot in gaming, and I feel like this is kind of undeserved. But at the same time, this is the price you pay for getting this involved into crypto. It's just the price you pay. Too many scummy bastards. He also was the controller of a hedge fund called Alameda Research, which we'll get into as well in a minute. Now, the reason... now, a little bit more history about this guy. He's a complete liar. He had a token called FTT, which was literally a Ponzi scheme, and he admitted it and bragged about it in a Bloomberg interview. Normal. He then used all this money to borrow billions to buy failing companies like crypto companies and stuff to make a crypto empire. Just to go over a few things he owns: Robinhood, Alameda Research, FTX, BitW, and Voyager. So quite a big monopoly here. But this is kind of how his company worked. So you're buying crypto like Bitcoin, and when you're actually not really buying it, you're borrowing the money, right? You're on an IOU, but this works as long as everyone doesn't cash in all at once. But the CEO at Binance basically was not a fan of this, and kind of started up some uproar. The thing is, Binance isn't anywhere near as trustworthy as FTX. I've had a little dabble in crypto, and I can just say they're basically just as bad as each other. But I mean... Anyway, there was a bit of back and forth on Twitter, a few rumors between these two CEOs, but this basically led to FTX just completely collapsing, and Binance made an offer to buy them. And then as they extended their hand out, they went, actually, psych, you can go fucking fuck yourself. And they went bankrupt. So yeah, everyone, all these IOUs were just I want my money now. And they just closed everything and filed for bankruptcy, which is really sad to see. But at the same time, again, crypto bros taking L's. But why can't he pay everyone back? And why are they bankrupt? Well, FTX actually violated its own terms of service and misused user funds. Around $4 million of user funds were used. And he did this just to save his own hedge fund, the Alameda Research. He then spent $21 million on Super Bowl ads. They spent millions on political and government campaigns. I think they donated $40 million to the Democrat Party, which is absolutely insane. He was bribing politicians, and he frauded millions and millions of dollars so he could create the most perfect crypto monopoly you could ever see. The story is completely whack though, and it keeps going deeper. This is as much as research as I could find. I've been doing this for the last hour. My brain is going to explode. Apparently the other CEO kind of the CEO of the Alameda Research, was dating this guy on and off, and that's the only reason why she's involved in all of this, is because she was dating him, and he kind of just like pulled her in. And a lot of people are like, oh no, she's probably all like trained and she got everything. There's no board of directors on this either. There's no investors. There's nothing. There is like no actual proper business setup here. It's just a bunch of people like just going, yeah, we can do this. That's it. And they all met by being friends and dating. That's the whole structure of this company. It's alleged as well that FTX had a backdoor built into their accounting software that allowed this guy SBF to move billions of dollars without triggering any alarm bells to its staff and all the auditors, which is insane. With billions of dollars just zapping like that. A few things that have been revealed, because people are looking all this up now because they're desperate to know where their money's gone. Apparently, the company FTX purchased $300 million in real estate in the Bahamas, in like one of like the richest areas, like literally like the land of the rich. And what's also strange that I found out is that he actually was emailing Elon Musk earlier this year when they first started to think about whether they needed to file for bankruptcy or not. And they offered to give Elon $3 billion in liquid assets to basically build up a fully blockchain Twitter, which would be horrendous. And luckily, Elon Musk responded with a smart take, which was basically, that would never work. We could never support that on our servers. Does he actually have that money? And they were like, yeah, I think so. And then Elon left it at that. It's probably the smartest decision Elon Musk has made about Twitter so far. But it's a real shame to see this happen, because obviously this means it's going to affect a lot of other companies that they owned. And there's, I mean, as well, all these poor people, all these people who had so much money in this company or on this app are now just done. They're bankrupt. If they have all their assets in there, they're done. Which would be silly if you had all your assets in crypto. Boogie2988, I'm looking at you. It's a real devastating shame to see this happen. At the same time, this is what happens in crypto. It's full of scumlords, absolute fucking losers. Everyone's hacking each other. Everyone's making up companies. If you look at any crypto project, it's always like, we strive for greatness. Here's our roadmap. All this fake shit. And at the end of the day, they never pull through. There have been so many projects of people I even know and trust. And even those projects have either been rug pulls, or they've just given up on it, or they haven't really come through with anything yet. It's really it's a big shame to see, because crypto, NFTs, all these tokens could have been really beneficial for society. Could have given us so many more different like outlets with our money. It would have given us more control, but because people are greedy, we can't have nice things, and we have to stick to our old ways, which is fine because that works for now. It is a shame. Like I always get kind of disappointed when I see this stuff, because realistically this doesn't have to happen. Like these people also like pretend to be gods when realistically they're just as greedy as any other greedy billionaire. It's a real shame. Like he's dodging literal taxes of billions of dollars. He's like the Donald Trump of cryptocurrency. So yeah, I thought I should mention this because now he is bankrupt and he is most likely going to lose everything if he doesn't go to prison, that is. So yeah, this guy is going to be, I mean, this must be the biggest financial loss I've seen in literal decades. Like I haven't heard of someone losing literal billions of dollars in an instant. Like, yeah, he spent it on various things, but the fact they've gone bankrupt means there's still billions of dollars just missing. So whether or not he's moving it around, or if they've actually managed to just like piss it in the wind, we'll see. But this is all going to have a knock-on effect on cryptocurrency. I'm sure you're all having a drink, and you know what? I don't judge you. Celebrate that as much as you like, but yeah, I think cryptocurrency is going to take a huge fat L here. My take might be wrong there, but I really do think this is going to affect crypto big time. But again, I hope we see change, because I think like cryptocurrency in itself is a great concept, but the way it's been used and manipulated is really cringe. But I mean, if you're someone who makes money off of crypto by just like flipping it and stuff, good for you. Make your money where you can. Anyway, this has been my little chit chat on this. I don't know too much about it, but I did as much research as I could, because I think it's really interesting to see someone lose this much money this fast. But I mean, he was borrowing it from banks that he didn't really own it. So there you go. Using fake money to borrow real money. I love society. Also, my last video absolutely flopped. Could you go check that out, please? It'll be in the card up here. I don't know what happened to it. I tried posting it twice. It's just a mega flop.